Welcome back to the Resilient Philosopher. This is De Leon Dantes. This week, we were going to talk about what servant leadership really means. Recently, a friend of mine mentioned to me that perhaps the word servant really throws people off because they might be thinking of themselves belittling or belittle themselves in order to make other people do stuff. Oh, I'm gonna go and do your job, and you do nothing. I'm your servant. You know, I work for free, or I do this for free. And that's not the idea or the meaning behind servant leadership. And the conversation that that friend of mine and I had about this subject came to make this episode today. It is important for us to understand what servant leadership is because we already do it. We already do it in many different ways. When you elect an official to represent your city, your community, your district, you do it because they're going to serve you by representing you. It doesn't mean that they're going to come and clean your house. It doesn't mean that they're going to come and do your job for you. It simply means they're doing a service for that district, for that community, for that city. And therefore, they are servant leaders. But servant leadership doesn't stop there. As a parent, you go to work, you pay your bills, you bring home food out of service to your family. When you decide to eat, is out of service to your body. So we are servants. We are servants of life. We serve ourselves in order to survive, in order to live, in order for us to achieve greatness. But there's something beyond that. When we talk about serving leadership within our personal life, within our business or corporate life, our workforce, and even within our religious and political leaders, we're talking about a way of life. A servant leader that does not work to empower others to become like them, that's a disservice as a servant. You must be willing to show somebody how they can better themselves on their own without being independent of you. When you're a servant leader, you make sure that the people around you, the people in your team, even the people that your team touches, and you yourself, you empower them. You make them feel the importance of growth. See, serving leadership comes with personal growth. It's not just you helping others, you are helping yourself when you decide to seek the philosophy of serving leadership. Because even though you have leaders that are supposed to serve the people, they are leaders that actually, whether they've been elected to a position or been given a position of leadership, they are narcissistic and They desire to continue the power ladder, the office politics, the manipulation to gain more power, more favors, more money, more fame. That is not true leadership. That is not remotely real leadership. That's just an act, a performance that should let people know that you truly are not a leader. And when you get people in positions like that just were given a title, a, a new position within the organization where now you have the ability to tell others what to do, and you're not a serving leader, you're just a leader by title, and you will see the chaos within that team automatically, because then it all becomes about competition. And when you bring about competition, then you bring about the mentality of, I don't have to be better than you, I just have to make you look bad. And that's how you get people in positions that they shouldn't even be on. Not because it's DIE or however they say it, but it is because of the body system. There's a person within a title that is going to move up another level within the ladder of the corporation. And instead of picking the right candidate to take his spot, he picks a candidate that will not take his next job. Not only that the competition is within the team, but it then becomes within that person's threats to their position. Yet when you have the philosophy of serving leadership, you realize that the most important person within an organization is not the one that manipulates their way into title, but it's the ones that are willing to empower the team so everyone can grow. There's no certainty in life. There's no way to know if you truly will move up the ladder because you are a serving leader. That is why serving leadership does not require or aspire to titles or positions. You do it because it's the right thing to do. You do it because you feel empathy, because you realize they're not your competitors, they're your coworkers with equal or similar situations. And this is where serving leadership comes into play. You can be a member of the team without any position or title and be the one that everybody comes to because they want advice, because they need someone to listen to, because you know more and you're a better teacher. And they don't feel like competing against you, but you also don't feel like competing against them. I mean, I witnessed this personally when I was within a position that I lead or led a team. And at the beginning, I was having to do my new role, and I was the only one that could repair bad parts, let's say. And it wasn't bothering me, I wasn't struggling. But all of a sudden, other people started asking that they wanted to learn. And I taught them. And then something magical happened. The people above me noticed how well the team was being run, how they were able to work together, how people were willing to help me and I was willing to help them, how I didn't put down any member of my team or members of other teams because I realized that at the end of the day, the client, the customer, is not going to care which team did it or who did it. They're just going to think the company did it. And that's not me being a company man or anything like that because I stepped down from that position. And even when I stepped down from that position, people still wanted me to help because they saw within me that I did not care to go up the corporate ladder. That was not my desire. I enjoy more seeing other people succeed than caring about my own personal success. And perhaps that would have made me better within the organization. Perhaps I would have grown within the organization. But if anything I've learned in the past 6 months, if anything I've could gain from the last 6 months and the next 6 months to come, is that I've changed. I've changed from the man I was 6 months ago. And 6 months from now, I will have changed again. And that has made me realize the importance not of a title, but to find a way to help others. And the best way to do that was by creating this philosophy, by creating the resilient philosopher, and establishing Vision Leon LLC. But I want to take it one more step. I want to become an organizational consultant. I want to be the one that people call, as they probably call many others within the field, to help change the culture within an organization, to help move forward proper serving leadership ideas, to help promote to the lowest place within the organization. It is also important to remember that good news never comes at a bad time. And good news is always welcome. And that is why, whether it happens 6 months from now or a year from now, or whenever it does, I just hope that I am able to help others as others have helped me. That is why I will continue to pursue my degree in psychology, and then I will move on to my master's in organizational psychology. I am by no means want to be a therapist. I enjoy being a philosopher. But I also know that understanding the way humans think, by understanding the way organizations operate, I can help more than by just studying philosophy. But the principles that I want to teach, I don't want them to be contaminated by corporate ideologies. That is why within the next year, I will release two books. And these two books will shine more of a light within my philosophy, but it would also establish how serving leadership philosophy within the resilient philosophy is. I will be releasing a book from the resilient philosopher, and I will be releasing a book within the resilient mind series. Currently, the Resilient Mind Volume 1 and Volume 2 are available for free in digital format in the website, and it's also available in Kindle. For new members, it will be free for new members of Kindle or for members of Kindle. I keep saying it wrong. Kindle membership. The Resilient Philosopher will have another book, and Resilient Philosopher will never be a series. The Resilient Philosopher, I want it to be books of my philosophy that people can just grab and read. That there's no need to buy a series. The Resilient Mind series can be read separately. You don't have to read them in an order, but they will have the same message throughout the series. I will always explain more what servant leadership is and how it has helped me and how it can help you. But if everything goes well, if everything goes smooth, there might be a third. There might be Vision Leon LLC, the Servant Leadership Philosophy course. It will be a layout of what servant leadership is within the corporate world and personal life. But that is far in the works, and it's time to curate, to really be properly established. That's why I'm not rushing it. But the other two books will have to be published because I already have them almost done. And knowledge not shared is useless. It doesn't help anyone, including myself. The Resilient Philosopher, The Prism of Reality, is also available for free on the website and in Amazon Kindle. It is up to you to share this message, to give me feedbacks, leave comments, to visit the website so you can get a more expanded article on the episodes, and to read other articles. Over 1,000 articles now available. And it's up to you to truly show up every week and spend a little bit of time with me. Because that shows that you're willing to always show up for yourself. A new episode of The Resilient Philosopher will be available next week.